Salute. The streets are buzzing after this 9th straight win. The New York Knicks, the hottest team in the league, the best fan base. Salute to the chat. Salute wherever you're at. The New York Knicks, man, this season is crazy. What have we just witnessed? Taking it to the Boston Celtics on the road. The last 3 against the Celtics. Taking care of business. It was tight. It was gritty. Definitely wasn't pretty. But the New York Knicks and Emmanuel Quickley has arrived. We sent out the bat signal. Jalen Brunson went down and the Dark Knight rises up in Gotham tonight. Let's chop it up wherever you're at. Man, what a great win. Salute Will. Big task, killer dogs. Knicks Nation. That's a tap. What a big win. Let's go. Great performance tonight from this squad, man. Just standing up against adversity. It was tight in regulation. The Knicks should have won. It was tight in OT1, OT2. Emmanuel Quickley playing 50-something plus minutes. Career high, 38 points tonight. Locking down on national TV. Locking down people's TV, literally. And run out of accolades that you could give, to this squad. But Quickley tonight just stepped up in Brunson's absence. I had a great feeling about tonight. I put out a tweet saying Emmanuel will show his worth tonight before the game. But boy, did that, ring to be true. But that didn't even give it justice tonight. The performance we saw was absolutely crazy, right? Yet an all-time stat line from Emmanuel Quickley tonight was absolutely insane. The 6-man / starter, like I've been saying for like the last month, he could be starting on any NBA team. 15 of 28 from the field in 55 minutes, man. Stand up, IQ, Godson, standing up. 5 of 12 from deep, 3 of 4 from the line, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, like Killer said, 2 blocks, just one turnover in 55 minutes, 2 fouls only, a +8, 38 points. 55 minutes at the point with 1 turnover. All you could do is laugh about that. He was absolutely flossing tonight. I've not seen a New York Knicks point guard floss the way Quickley was out there on the court. Look at him right there on screen with the TV audience there. He's been getting that shine recently, but tonight's going to go to another level. And well-deserved, from this squad, top to bottom. We'll give Quickley all his flowers, but it's a whole squad effort, really. I mean, he's been growing and learning under Brunson and everyone else, but tonight was his moment, hitting big shot after big shot. Of course, the New York Knicks rallied, were down 14. Ladies and gentlemen, it looked tough tonight, down 14. But they had an 11-point lead of our own as well. The fast break points, we got absolutely dominated. 19 Boston to 6, the Knicks in fast break points. But points in the paint, the Knicks dominated as well, 56 to 42. So Mitchell Robinson was another big impact tonight. There were times when they were trying to play him off the court, but Mitch actually really stood up late, hit some free throws, missed some free throws, but hit some as well. So finally, this squad has absolutely turned the corner. There's no doubt about it after tonight. The hottest team in the NBA and getting adoration all around the globe with this situation right now. The New York Knicks mean business. Nobody wants to face the Knicks in the playoffs right now with the heart and the energy and the efficiency we're playing with. And RJ, yes, absolutely had a solid game. Dirty, 100%. Solid on D. There was some folly, though, too. Late game execution was tough. Although the Knicks got through it, well, I would definitely like to see the Knicks play more fluid late in games. Tonight was like a playoff game, no doubt about it. It was 100% playoff style. Even the Celtics were struggling to move the ball. I thought that final possession that I think it was at the end of first OT where or regulation where Jason Tatum, didn't get the shot off, barely got the shot off because Jalen Brown took up too much of the clock. But a complete squad effort tonight. Emmanuel Quickley's got to be tired, but he's been playing off the bench, so he'll get through it. In terms of what this game means, though, on the standings, Philadelphia pulled out a big one last night against Milwaukee. They came back. But there's no quit in these New York Knicks this season. This is so different to the squad 2 years ago. Right now, for one, Quickley's not even the same player. On a down night from Quentin Grimes and no Jalen Brunson, and the New York Knicks still have enough to pull this one out, speaks volumes to how great this squad is right now. I use the word great. It's no longer a good squad, it's a great squad. 9 straight in the NBA, the hottest streak in the league. And of course, 9 straight since Josh Hart's come on board as well. And 12 games over 500 now. I lose count, honestly. It's all about the playoffs at this point in time, Knicks streets. Yeah, big task. The Knicks Kings could be a preview of the NBA Finals, maybe in 2 years from now, 1 year. Drew, salute. It's good to know that we can rely on Quick to start one more game against Charlotte before Brunson may play again. Charlotte should be a cakewalk for New York, considering LaMelo's out. Yeah, about this squad, I don't think they're taking anybody lightly anymore. To quote, and we'll be using this word a lot, these guys are dogs. Make no mistake about it. For Emmanuel Quickley to step up in 55 minutes and put on the performance he did. Josh Hart's another dog that's changed this thing. Randle's a dog. Mitchell Robinson's a dog. There's some dog in RJ and there's some dog in Grimes as well. And this squad is playing for the coach. There's an identity now. We can sleep at night that this New York Knicks team we love has an identity. And it's getting the adoration of haters, skeptics, doubters, from Charles Barkley to Perk to Wax Kellerman to the Scream and A's of the world. Who else? We'll leave all them in the past right now because they jumped off the boat. But boy, yeah, this solidifies Quickley's future with the Knicks if it hasn't already. There's no trade talks about Quickley. It's all about re-extending him and giving him a big deal. Because I see a future backcourt with Brunson and Quickley closing out games for the New York Knicks for the next 8 years. And that's a situation we haven't been in so long. Yeah. Mets Dix, what a game by RQ. He's moved ahead of schedule, 100% ahead of schedule. We haven't seen a player grow like this quickly, pardon the pun, but people were talking about Jordan Poole from Golden State. People were talking about Tyrese Maxey. There was a lot of shade to go around. Another great opportunity, like Dirty says, maybe to rest Randle this time against Charlotte. He is absolutely an Iron Man. There's no doubt about that. That's what makes me so proud. Brunson's put in that effort this season. I'm glad they didn't, make him go tonight. I'm sure he could have gone if he tried. They could have given him a jab and taped that ankle up. But to be honest, the game, it's great to win, but the game didn't mean that much tonight in terms of the result. We're already on a 8-game winning streak. So I think they've chose the right game to rest Brunson, but we pulled it out regardless. Emmanuel Quickley's that good right now. Some of the things he was doing tonight was just absolutely ridiculous. Finishing with the floaters, distributing, pulling up from 3 in people's face. And it was no disgrace. Was Emmanuel Quickley tonight. He was leading the charges on national TV And a lot of people have stood up now and noticed. So I'm happy for the man. Yeah, this was supposed to be a house money game, 100%. That's why it feels so good to pull this one out as well. And I said, could this streak get to 10? Well, it looks like that's going to happen now. And we've put in that hard work as this squad. And we're at that point now where hard work is paying off. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let this fool you. This ain't a fluke. This is the basis of hard work from everybody, you know, from Mitch's growth to Randle's growth as a person and a player, for Brunson's growth to Quickley, to the coach, to everybody. RJ tonight, everybody was locked in. Yet Randle was absolutely locked in. Did you guys see him try to calm himself down? And boy, that would have been tough. That Marcus Smart folly, flop, all of that stuff was disgusting. That call, to start with, the call where Smart was in his grill, you know, all Randle did was just, you know, make that normal offensive movement, pull your shoulder back over. And it's not his fault Marcus Smart was in his face. That was unbelievable. But, you know, what we rose above, and we pulled it out anyway. You know, facing the referees on the road was tough. But I like the fact that Randle showed growth. He's like, I got a tee. All right, I'm about to calm myself down because I don't want to lose this game for my team. Yeah, like Stanley says, road wins, road warriors, road kill, all of that stuff now. Our road record's insane. The best road record in the league. And against Miami and Boston, Eastern Conference Finals, 2 teams the last 2 years. Yep. We're legit right now, baby. Greatest Knick win in the last 50 years. There's quite a few to put there, but what a win. Opening night was pretty nice last year. That was good. But the way we did it tonight without Brunson makes me very, very proud. Salute D, cool. What's good? Buzzing, smashing that like button for the New York Knicks streets. And this was a huge performance tonight on the road. This psychologically now is going to let not just the Celtics know, but the Bucks, the Philly, and everyone else in our way that we're coming. We're coming. Dirty says, the thing I love about RJ is he doesn't give a damn if 90% of the fans are hating. He just wants the ball. Yep, ups and downs, he goes through it. It's sometimes frustrating where I do want RJ to show emotion out there, but you still know that he wants it. You know, I never once feel like RJ's quitting. You know, he's just that young kid still learning, still growing in big moments. You know, he's only played one playoff series too, so I'm looking forward to see how RJ responds in his second playoff appearance, because we can pencil in our plans now. We can make plans. We are playoff bound with the Dallas Mavericks draft pick still, and quite possibly the Washington Wizards draft pick too. D. Gon says we could rest Brunson one more game. Yeah, I absolutely think that's a good idea. Yep. You know, the way Quickley's playing, he's on fire, full of confidence. You got to ride that. You got to ride the hot hand. Also, another great talking point from tonight, keep them coming. On the streets are buzzing because this team has now gone over the Vegas projected 38.5. So shout out to everyone who put that on, and drinks are on us. Salute. Because, you know, I thought it was low. You know, I'm not going to sit here and expected a 50 piece, but I definitely predicted 45. I definitely thought 38 was a bit underrating this squad. I knew that the squad would finish hot, and I knew the roster wouldn't be the same. So yeah, a lot of short-sighted predictions from this New York Knicks from Vegas. You know, the Jalen Brunson thing alone was enough to give this team 44, 45 wins, I feel, with a real point guard. But little did people realize that Emmanuel Quickley was ready to be a starting point guard right now. And I've been thinking to myself the last few days, remember all the talk about Tyrese Maxey? Well, it's a legit conversation now. Maxey or Quickley, that's a legit conversation to have. You know, Maxey was getting so much shine. He's a great player, but Emmanuel Quickley tonight arrived. He let people know that he is built for this. He's a deep, deep playoff run kind of guy, and he's going to put this team on his back, on our back, in a lot of playoff appearances in the future. You know, he's not shook. He's so confident all the time. You just see him having fun. And what have I said about player having fun? They're dangerous. You know, you see him hopping and skipping and flossing on the court, smiling, all of that stuff. You know, the kid just doesn't give a damn about losing. He just worries about hooping. That's what you love, you know. And that's what World Wide West was attracted to, you know. And he told Tibs he's a big game player. Look out for him. He can hit the big shot, and he doesn't give a crap about the consequences, you know. Those are the players that are scary. You know, players like Latrell Sprewell had that in him, where there was just no fear each and every time they were on the court. They felt like they were the best player. You know, the same goes with, John Starks out there. You know, love him or hate him. You know, he could shoot you out of the game, but he just felt like he was always going to hit net. Hats off to Mark Cuban. Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Cube. Yep. Top 10 protected. Yep, with this Dallas pick. Yeah, the Dallas pick, I'm assuming you mean Dirty. Yeah, I think they're still going to finish higher than 10th, in the 10th worst record, but it could be a great selection. Yeah, giving us Quickley and Brunson. Yeah, chat's buzzing tonight. Salute everyone out here. What's been the most impressive thing about tonight was the resilience. You know, it wasn't pretty. Like I said, we did not execute tonight. Let that be clear. I'm not sitting here giddy that we executed well, but we pulled it out because we showed toughness. We showed heart. That's what it's all about in the playoffs as well. And yeah, appreciate you, Drew. You sent me the some statistics on Emmanuel Quickley's situation. I'll pull that up, don't you worry. But keep the chat buzzing, keep the questions, keep the thoughts. I love the commentary and the passion coming out of this fan base right now. It's huge. We deserve this. And Emmanuel Quickley, as Drew sent me to, appreciate you, is now favoured to win the NBA Sixth Man of the Year, as FanDuel has him a minus 110. Caesars have Quickley at minus 220. And our points bet got Quickley at minus 125. So it's been a long time coming, but finally people are waking up to this situation, absolutely waking up. As you see on screen now, the award season's coming and the streets are buzzing. We have that situation where it's Randle for All NBA, Brunson for MIP, Quickley the sixth man, and Mitch, all defensive player. Tonight we'll give everyone their flowers. Man out here. Salute, Ron. Let me know if you want to come in. I'd love to hear your thoughts with this situation, Ron. The streets are buzzing right now. Let that sink in. And let's talk about it with the fan base. Kaiser, salute. Joshua Cruz in the house. One of the most heroic Knicks wins. Yep. In a long time. And I've been a Knicks fan for 27 years. Salute to you. Let us know, everyone out in the chat, how long you've been a Knicks fan for. Even it's been a day or it's been 100 years. I don't care. Let me know. Yep. Let's get it, Ron. I'll drop the link for you. And we keep these streets buzzing tonight. Special edition CT with Ron Cleveland giving us our thoughts with this monumental win. Shout out to D Gons for 50 years since the chip. 50 years of fan base. Drew, 20 years. Since 3 years old. Yep. Since you were a baby. Making moves out here. Yep. Me, I go back to 90, I'm going to say 91, 92. So that's just over 30 years. Stanley since 1969, summer of 69, year of Bellamy. Trade for DeBuscher. D equals 38 years. Yep. Let's add all these years up, and we're the wisest here. The wisest fan base, with the most grey hairs probably too. But it's all the way up now. You know, it was tough listening to ESPN. Tonight would have been amazing to have Clyde and Breen on the call, and that would have been special. But nonetheless, I'm going to replay this one over and over. And tonight, you know, always give props to the opponent, but yeah, I've been saying that Boston do have chinks in their armor, and I feel like the Tatum Brown thing, it's just a lot of you go, I go, you go, I go kind of thing. I'm not seeing a lot of chemistry with those guys. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like psychologically now, though, we just don't go away. That's what's so pesky about these New York Knicks to the opponents. It's the fact that we answer punch for punch continuously, and we go back and forth, and we make our presence known, and that's what's key. Like, I really feel like tonight, psychologically, they would have felt like, okay, Brunson's out, and we're going to win this one. But the Knicks just didn't let that happen, and there was a lot of great moments in the game from early Julius Randle, the 9-0 run, I think, to end the second quarter, where the Knicks just definitely dug deep and clawed their way back. It might have been to end the third, apologies, which was a 34-point third quarter, which was key, and a 25-point last quarter, and an 18-point first overtime, which helped us rally on the road. Now we are 20-12 on the road, 8 games above 500. I've never come across that in my life. With that situation, I simply have not come across a situation where the Knicks are 8 games over 500 on the road, and these are tough road wins in Miami, in Beantown, you name it. Jerry Salute, 43 years since 10 years of age. Yeah, shout out. What I'd love to know is, was it just you that chose the Knicks in your family, or was it someone put you on to the Knicks? As I welcome in my guy in a minute, he's backstage. I'm about to get the screen all fixed up for Knicks Nation. CT with Ron Cleveland about to rock out, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Just getting this thing fixed up. The Knicks Nation. Just 1 second, Ron, I got you. Yeah, keep the streets buzzing in the chat. Keep the questions coming. This is a special day, special moment for these New York Knicks. Stand up. And it's been a long time coming to pull this one out on the road. It's special. Boy, is this one special. And I think I figured it out now. We're almost good to rock. Man. This is special. Special throwback edition. And the Knicks mean business. Could they be the real deal? Let's go. Welcome in, my guy. Man.
Man. What's going on, CT?
I'm buzzing. How you feeling?
Man, hey, I can't complain, man. You see what I got on tonight? I got on the man shirt. You know, hey, This is crazy. This is crazy, man. It is. I was telling Soulfinger, me and him was talking earlier during the game. We
Yeah.
actually watched the last uh two overtimes together, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I
Oh,
said this is crazy to watch what this team has become. I mean, at one point this season, it looked like our season was over before the season got going good. Tibs looked like he was on the way out. Front office probably wasn't going to be too far behind him. And to look at what this team is doing now, it's just unbelievable, man. It's,
I've
it's
never I've never seen anything like it in sports, really,
nah.
in
I've
terms of
never
a
I've never
turnaround.
seen this kind of turnaround. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, at one point the Knicks was literally left for dead, and now we're looking at the 4 seed. It might even catch the 3 seed. It's unbelievable. And then the win tonight was a beautiful thing to watch because no Brunson. I was like, wow. I was like, this is gonna be a tough one to try to win without Brunson. But Emmanuel Quickley was big tonight. But I tell you this, one person and everybody know it that's followed me, man. Talking one thing, hey, I'm a straight shooter, man. You know it, CT. I'm gonna give you your flowers when you playing good, and I'm gonna give you them thorns when you playing bad. I'm equal opportunity. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I ain't never been about that. But I gotta say it, man. Tonight, RJ Barrett, man. RJ Barrett set the tone in that first quarter. Julius wasn't having it going like he normally do in the first quarter, but RJ had it going, and he carried this team. And it was funny because I told Soulfinger, I said, it might be, and I was talking to Wise too. We was on three-way,
Yeah.
Wise and Soulfinger and myself, and I said, you know what? I think a game like this tonight for RJ was huge because I think RJ is going to learn how he's supposed to play when Brunson's on the floor. Because I think it's a major change for him with Brunson on the floor. But seeing tonight we needed you to take a bunch of shots to win. We needed that. But when Brunson is back, we don't need you to try to be Superman. We just need you to be one of the guys. Just do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And it was a beautiful sight to watch, man. And it was really a team win tonight, man. The defense I felt was kind of lacking. They let a lot of guys get wide open threes, man. Defensive rotation was terrible at some points, but as a whole, you can't complain about this win tonight. You can't. There's nobody you can point a
Mhm.
finger at and say, you know.
Facts. Yep.
I mean, yeah, Julius Randle, he had those turnovers, but anytime you ask Julius Randle to be the guy to carry that offense, so far as offensively, like so far as when it comes to running the offense,
Yep.
you don't want Julius Randle to have to do that. And I felt like kudos to Julius because he started deferring to Quickley big time and letting
Yeah.
Quickley, run the offense. Last year, you wouldn't have saw that from Julius Randle.
No, not at all.
You would not have seen that. You know what I mean? So it was a beautiful sight to see, man. And the refs they tried to job us tonight too. You know, your boy Marcus Smart was flopping more than a fish out of water. It looked like he was trying to get an Academy Award tonight. You know what I mean? But and
Not
and
taking the bait.
yeah, and this was the craziest thing with the refs, man. You mean to tell me playing against a team like the Celtics, we get Julius Randle get his first free throw late in the fourth quarter? Come on, man. Come on, man. That was ridiculous.
You know what? Also, it was big free throws. When
Hmm.
Julius stepped up, I got to give Julius his flowers for hitting those free throws
Absolutely.
because they were huge.
Yeah, man. So where I see this thing headed, man, I'm at a point. I think the New York Knicks. And people talking about jumping out the window, man. I ain't jumping out no window. You know where I'm jumping from? I'm jumping off top of the house. That's what I'm jumping. I ain't jumping out the window. I'm jumping off the top of the house, man. You know what I mean? This thing, I don't see nobody stopping the Knicks in the first round. I think they knocked Cleveland out because it looked like that's what's happening. There's going to be a collision course, and I think they're going to knock Cleveland out. And Boston better pray that they don't have to face us
Mhm.
in the second round because the
Let me
Knicks
tell
will
you.
be advancing. If we face
Mhm.
Boston, if we face Philly, we can beat both of those teams.
Yeah. They better saddle up because can you imagine what MSG is going to be like this year in the playoffs? It's going to
Oh
be
man,
bumping. The
man. I was
roof
talking
going
to
to
my
be.
son last night. He getting ready to go to Hawaii. But I was talking to him last night. Well, after the game that we beat, man, who did we beat the night before? Yeah, it's funny.
We beat Miami.
Yeah, when we beat
Yeah,
Miami, man, I told my son, I said, man,
well, your
I said,
football
wrong,
team's
man.
up.
I said, I'm gonna have to go to New York City, man. I'm gonna have to go there for the playoffs. I'm gonna be double
Yeah,
masked, but I'm gonna have to go to MSG, man. I may just have to go and fly on in that, man.
yeah. How many playoff series have we won since you've been a fan?
Oh man, back in the '90s, man, we used to stay in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think I got spoiled. You know what I mean? Back then, I think I got spoiled. But man, in the last since man, the last 20 years, I don't think we won many.
I forget what the feeling is like, honestly. When we closed out the Celtics with, was it
Oh yeah, when
2013?
yeah when them guys wore the whole all black.
And J.R. Smith tried to lose us the game.
Oh man, I remember that. Them guys came to the game in all black.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
How were you feeling when Mitch stepped up at the line?
Mitch, it was big. Those shots, it was big that he made one out of two.
Yep.
Mitchell Robinson got to shoot with some arc, man. Stop shooting line drives, man. You ain't doing no target practice. If this was target practice, man, he'd tear the rim up. You know what I mean? But we need you to put some loft on that thing, man. Put some air on it. But shout out to Mitch. Mitch had a quiet double tonight too, man. I was like, wow. Think he had what 14
Yep.
points or 13 points, 13 rebounds. Something. I was like, it didn't seem like he had that many, but it was a good game to
Yep.
watch, man. It was a good game to watch.
Guess how many offensive he pulled in?
Let me guess, about six.
7. 7 offensive, 7 defensive, 14 total, a steal, and 13 points.
Man.
44 minutes.
And I was concerned about Mitch that last game, man. And I'm gonna say this because I was telling Soulfinger, we all watched that Miami game, man. And I'm gonna tell you, it looked like Miami was trying to hurt the Knicks players, man. Looked like they tried to hurt Mitch and they tried to hurt JB
Yeah,
too. It really
exactly.
it really looked like they was trying to hurt them guys, man.
Who would be your preferred matchup, or are you not even past that right now?
In the first round,
Yep.
I mean, it looked like it's gonna be Cleveland, but it don't make a difference who we see in the first round. They're going home. The Knicks is gonna
Yeah.
knock out whoever they face in the first round. That's a given. That's a given. The New York Knicks right now is the worst nightmare for any team in the NBA. And the thing is, when I look at what they're doing right now, I mean, who playing better than them? The Knicks haven't lost since February 10th, and the last
Say that
loss was
again.
against Philly. They haven't lost a game since February 10th. That's almost in calendar days. It's almost a month since they lost a game.
That's insane.
February 10th. That is insane.
It's looking like we have 2 all NBA players this season.
I can tell you this: we got two All Stars.
Yep.
We got two stars on this team. There's two stars. That's Julius Randle and JB. And I'm gonna tell you this: Emmanuel Quickley keep playing the way he's playing. He's on the brink of being a star. He keep playing the way because Emmanuel Quickley is a two-way player. He is
Yep.
definitely a two-way player now, and I like the way it seemed like the game really has slowed down for Emmanuel Quickley. And the thing is as I'm watching him, I'm like, this dude can get his shot anytime he wants now.
He's no
And,
joke.
and that's the scary thing. And his defense, I remember watching the game when we played Washington and watching him lock up Kyle Kuzma and watching him lock up Kendrick Nunn. I was just like, man,
That was
Quickly.
in.
Quickly was 6'6".
Forget about Maxi. They hit with Quickley.
Yeah. And
He's
Maxi, and I
built
like
for New
Maxi
York.
too, but the separation between those two is really the defensive end. Quickly is by far better than him defensively.
Yes. Great point. Great. Look at this stat, Ron. I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah, but Bernard King.
Yeah. 35-8, 6-4, and 2. Only 2 players in Knicks history.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, Quickley almost had a triple double in that because I think he had 30. What he had like 7 rebounds or 8 rebounds, 7 assists somewhere. That might have been flipped around. He to go along with 35.
And how did he get separation where he went to the lane and dunked it?
Oh man! And
Playing
then
like
that was
40
a foul that they missed. That was
Yeah.
a foul they missed on Brown.
Yeah, there was. The step
Quickly
backs.
is a problem.
You know what? Their bigs are slow. We took advantage.
And you know what
Slower
else?
foot.
You know what else surprised me tonight? Who surprised me? I jumped off my chair, my seat. I was in the cat nap, but man, when I saw Mitch drive to the basket and dunk, I was like, "Oh my god!" That's like we got a Mitch sighting. We got a Mitch sighting, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. Something became evident to me tonight too. I was talking to Soulfinger. You know, the only I say negative for me tonight, and I won't say just tonight. It's a realization of this team. The only downfall, and people been saying like why Julius Randle is playing so much tonight. Julius Randle rest a lot tonight. I don't know how many minutes he played tonight, but he sat almost the whole fourth quarter. And at one point, I thought he was hurt because he wasn't playing. But you know why Julius Randle have to log so much minutes. You know, people complain about the minutes distribution. The reason why Julius got to play so many minutes, you know why? Because Obi is not doing what Obi needs to do at a backup. And I hate to say it because I've been holding out hope for him. But the Knicks, in order to really solidify this thing further, the Knicks is going to have to get a backup power forward to Julius, so that way he can take some of the minutes off of Julius and still get some production out of that power forward position. Because everybody, even your biggest Obi supporters, have to admit when Obi is on the floor offensively, we don't get nothing out of Obi now, and it's sad to watch. It's really sad to watch. I mean, he had that one play tonight, man, but he was out there a long time tonight, a long time.
He tries to get us fast break points, but in a half court sort of playoff game, that doesn't, those buckets don't come easy.
Nah, it's pretty much null and void, man. When the playoffs come, he's gonna be pretty much null and void.
Yeah.
We need another power forward on this team. We really do. And I ain't talking about no Kevin Love. No way.
No.
He needs to go home and retire.
I heard the Clippers are going to relegate Mook Morris back to the bench, but his salary, he might be a free agent. I'm not sure what his salary situation's like.
I would like him as a backup to Julius. I hate him when he left.
Yeah, he could stroke it.
Yeah,
and he liked being a New York Knick.
And he fits our style of basketball play too. Rough and rugged.
Bobby Portis as well.
Yeah. Bobby Portis would be perfect, but I don't think he getting out of Milwaukee. They love him in Milwaukee.
You know what's got us so dangerous though? Our defense is that good, and our offense is decent. A combination of those two, and we're just scary. We're very well rounded.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, kudos to Tibs, man, because we talking about the Knicks being 7th in offense going into that Miami game. Who would have ever said a Tibs team is that high offensively? That's normally reserved for his defensive rating for his teams.
That's Brunson and Randle. Ridiculous shot making this year. That shot against the Heat. Did you hear Spoelstra's comments? Like he was salty.
No, I didn't hear. What did he say?
He was like, 99 times out of 100, that play's going to favor. We're going to get a favorable outcome.
Well, he might be telling the truth. But all he needed to just say, "Hey, man, hats off to Julius Randle.
Yep.
He made the shot. He made the shot, man. Yeah, you can't take that from him. He made the biggest. I said this the other night. He made it on Knicks Fan TV. I said he made the biggest shot in his Knicks career. That was his moment.
Yep.
And that ball, I tell you, it seemed like he almost turned the ball over two times in that possession, and the ball just stayed with it, man. And the thing that got me too is like the refs missed some fouls on that play. Even right before he shot that three, Jimmy Butler bumped him. They didn't call it.
Yeah, Hero was whining on Twitter as well for the foot out of bounds.
Your foot was out of bounds, partner. That hey, keep your foot in.
Kevin Durant can talk about a foot.
Yeah, foot on the line. Guess who was it? Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta knocked him out. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's fun to watch, and then to see what's going on in Brooklyn, man. I tell you what, all those Knicks fans that was crying for Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and I hope you see what we avoided.
yeah, yep. Shout out to Eric Super Chat. Rock Boys was in the building tonight.
Yeah, I think Eric from Jackson, Mississippi. I think he said.
Yep.
Hey, that guy that got the hottest song out right now. I ain't stressing the day is perfect for us right now. That should be the Knicks. That should be the Knicks bottle, man. And Knicks fans bottle, man. We ain't stressing the day.
No, no, no. We're knocking heads off. The Celtics, the Heat. Who else would satisfy you to knock the Bucks off next?
Oh yeah, that would put icing on the cake for the East. Because in this run, we knocked out the Celtics twice in 1 week. We knocked off Washington. We knocked off the Pels. We knocked off Miami. And the beautiful thing about that Miami win, that was in Miami. And Julius, what made
Yeah.
that even bigger with Julius is Julius had just turned that ball over to give Miami the lead. They went up by
Yeah.
one, and Julius came back and dropped a three to win the game.
You know what these wins were? These were heart snatchers.
Yeah,
We snatched their heart out.
yeah, both of them because the
They were full
Celtics made that
strength.
run and look like they were going to win in regulation, and then the Knicks said,
Yep. And no more doubters now. What do you feel about the Stephen A's, Ron, the Maxes, the dudes that, the Rappaports that flock to Brooklyn? Now where they're at, it's cold, it's lonely,
Yeah,
and it's chilly out in Brooklyn.
and the lights are off in the building, man. They ain't paid their light bill. They ain't got no. You seen that episode of Martin when the power went off? That's what's going on over there, man.
Will
Stephen
Smith.
Stephen they need to stay over there, man, because he's still. I can't believe that guy's still crying about Donovan Mitchell, man. I mean that ship has sailed. We almost at the end of the season. You still talking about Donovan Mitchell, man? Stop with that foolishness. Matter of
That
fact,
lets
you
you
love
know.
you love him. You love him that much. You need to go on to Cleveland right along with him. That's what he
That
should do.
lets you know that they're not watching any games. They just
Nah,
watch maybe, the
some of
national
the takes
games.
I hear him say sometime, man, and shout out to Monica McNutt because she ate him up.
Yes.
She ate him up with the facts. You know what I mean? He's still up there
Yep.
crying. You know what I mean? What you want to pacify, man? I mean, the man gone. What you gonna do? He that guy, that girl leave him, man. He's still crying 2 years later. Oh, but baby, come back.
Oh, I could really see us getting to the ECF. That's
Oh,
no.
I can see it. I can see it too. There's a path for it. Like I said, it looking like they're gonna play Boston in that second round, and they're headed there.
Oh,
They're headed there.
yeah. Josh Hart, Quickly's play. We got one of the best bench in the league, and we're not even playing Derek Rose or Fournier.
And I'm gonna
Can you
tell you this:
imagine?
there's a blueprint to beat Milwaukee too.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
the old Jordan rules back in the days. You let him get his, and you guard everybody else. Do not double him
Yep.
because that's all they're waiting on. They want you to double him so he can kick out to the shooters. That's what the Knicks need to do. Just play him straight up.
Yep. That's it. Mitch. I love to see Mitch step up on
Hmm
that one.
But you notice every time we play Milwaukee, they wanna collapse on him, man, and leave people open. You're not gonna beat them like that.
Yeah. And you also got to fluster a holiday because Giannis can't create himself the whole game.
Exactly. Exactly. And see
And
now that we got Hart.
Get Hart,
We
get
can throw
Quickley on
throw
him.
Hart on Holiday, and then Hart is actually bigger than him too.
Yeah, and I'm salty kind of that he got the All-Star. DeRozan got the All-Star over Brunson.
Yeah, Hart
You know,
DeRozan getting that, and Chicago ain't going anywhere
yeah,
but to the
that's
toilet bowl.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely going to respect the Knicks next year. Like, watch the Vegas projections next year should be around 40, 47,
Yeah, and watch
40,
how many national televised games we
46.
get next year too. There's going to be a ton of them.
Yeah,
We might
absolutely.
we might be on opening night.
Did you see Philly's comeback against Milwaukee
No,
yesterday?
no, I didn't catch it.
That was
And,
crazy
and
because they.
Philly beat them, and I know we're a better defensive team than Philly.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, RJ Barrett, you made a great point tonight. It was one of his best games in a
yeah,
long time.
yeah, I think this was his best game of the season on both ends. You know, he had it wasn't nothing that made me like, come on, RJ, come on, man, stop it. I didn't say that tonight with him. You know what I mean? And
What?
normally in the past, and kudos to him, man, ever since the break, right on par with what he normally does, he's doing it. But I can't stand the slow starts by him. I really can't. That is and one can argue the Knicks were winning all these games in spite of RJ terrible play.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really
You know?
see a need for OG Anunoby yet because if RJ picks up his play a little bit, it's like, what's the point in giving up 3 first rounders?
I still reserve judgment on him, and I say this is what I said for me with him. The jury is still out for the rest of the season because he'll have to, if he can continue to play good and play good during the playoffs, then
Yeah, it's a wrap.
I'll cancel the flight.
You can't.
But if he gets back on this roller coaster and we get in the playoffs and he's on a roller coaster, we can't have that going forward. Not you know what I mean? Not for no key card because the Knicks, Jalen Brunson has sped up our timeline. He has sped up our timeline. And one thing in sports, and you know this, CT, as long as you've been watching it, the window for any team to win a championship is small. There's no such thing as you got time. Things can change from year to year.
Yeah.
Injury here or just bad play from your team fall off. You know, you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone in the building too. We took over the Heat
Oh
arena.
man, that thing was so loud, man. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, if you just close your eyes and just listen, you'd have thought you was in Madison Square Garden.
Facts. It was insane. We needed their fans to drown out the Knicks fans'
Mm-hmm.
noise. Can you imagine what MSG is going to be like?
Oh yeah, but yeah, I gotta get back to RJ though. Shout out to RJ, man. Much needed game tonight from him, man. It can't be stated enough, man. Without the play of RJ Barrett tonight, the Knicks lose this game.
Yeah, let's look at his stat line. Ron and chat. He was 10 of 22 from the field, 3 of 9.
Almost 50%.
Hit 6 of 9 free throws, 11 rebounds with 2 offensive.
Now that's huge. 11 rebounds from your 6'6" forward.
3 assists, 1 steal, and a block.
That was huge. That was huge tonight.
29.
RJ balled tonight, man. I can't complain about his game tonight. Anybody complaining about RJ game tonight, man, you just hate him.
No, you can't complain.
It is what it is. I mean, we can critique players, man, but one thing we got to do, we got to keep it real. You know what I mean? When players playing good, you got to give them their flowers, man.
100%. You know
If
whose
they
stat
ain't-
line he mirrored tonight? He mirrored Jalen Brown's stat line.
Yeah, that's sinking.
I
Yeah,
kind of see
I
why
gotta
the
give
Celtics might think about trading him.
the Celtics will be a fool. They trade him, they'll be in trouble. But I've been said this for a long time, and my barber, he's a Celtic fan. And me and him was talking about it, and I told him, I said, man, Brown is the dude for that team. He's your engine. I say everybody wanna tout Tatum like that. Tatum, Tatum, Tatum. Yeah, Tatum's good, but he's not better than Brown. Not in my opinion.
No.
Brown is more of a two-way, and Brown is more physical than him. And when you get physical with Tatum, he struggles. And my barber said it. He said that's the major thing that I've been saying about him. And he said he's inconsistent.
Yeah, they're getting on him. The Boston fans are really starting to get a little bit frustrated with Tatum. He's
Yeah, I mean,
streaky.
think about it last year in the playoffs. The whole playoffs, Brown played better than him. Brown outplayed him during them playoffs.
Yeah.
Remember the series against
Yeah.
Golden State? He had a terrible series. Tatum,
I'm going to say Brunson made us a contender as well
absolutely,
because
absolutely.
he's no joke. He's the best point guard the Knicks have had since Jackson, at least.
This is the best free agent signing the Knicks have had in the history of this team.
Hmm.
The best.
And that's just been 1 year. Let that sink in.
It's crazy. It's like the way this dude played is. It feels like he's always been on the Knicks.
And
Like
isn't his
he
contract?
feels him and Josh Hart and even Julius. They feel like guys that were drafted by the Knicks. They don't feel like guys that we signed in free agency.
And he's on a descending contract, Ron. Let that sink in. The guy's underpaid at this point.
Him and Julius both.
Yeah.
And this the thing I said about Julius. I said, for people who want to question whether or not Julius Randle is that dude, man, 2 out of the last 3 years, this guy have been an all-star in this league. And in both those seasons, the guy got MVP votes. And the last time I checked, he was 7th in MVP voting this year. Oh, and in one the year that he was an all-star, the guy was the most improved player in the league also. Right now, averaging 25 and 11. And it probably went up to 26 because it was close to being 26 a game. So, I mean, if you complain about Julius Randle, like who you going to find that's playing better, that's truly playing the power forward position? I'm not talking about LeBron, who's a power forward in name only. But everybody knows LeBron is playing the point for the Lakers. KD is a power forward in height only. He plays like a two guard. His game is on the wing. It's not. Julius Randle is second to only Giannis in this league right now.
Yep.
In my book.
Exactly. I think so too.
And then the thing is Julius' effort defensively this year is on another level too. Because in that game against Miami, you saw what he did. You saw what he was doing. That guy was getting into it defensively, disrupting plays.
He's fulfilling his prophecy with Kobe. He knew what kind of player he'd become, and it's all coming together now, mentally, physically.
And then he don't cheat us neither. The guy show up for work. He don't pull a Kyrie Irving and disappear and nobody know where he's at. Or he don't load manage all that load management mess.
No. You know why? He's a throwback with Kobe.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could hear Kobe in his ear saying, "What the heck are you doing taking a night off? Get in the gym, man.
Yeah,
it's
ain't
2
no nights off." And I remember he said that one thing he learned from Kobe is like every time he's on the road, he go find a gym.
Yeah, right off the plane. Other dudes go to the clubs. Other dudes go see family. Other dudes go for a bite. They go to where's the nearest gym? Give me the keys. Yeah, Quickley. We got a whole squad of players like that, Ron. We got Quickley. He smells like the gym 24/7.
Yeah, you remember they were saying they had to lock him up. They were saying when he was in college, man, say he'd be in there, so the guy fell asleep quickly in there working.
Well, at least you know where to find the man,
Yeah, and that's the thing. And
or the
you
club
know what else I like the most about this team? And nobody talks about this enough. It's the character of this team, and what I mean by that, you don't have these guys getting no kind of blotters and stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have the negative stuff like, oh, they didn't got in fights, or they doing this, they hanging out in the clubs, and more concerned with the nightlife than with their
Mm.
craft. You don't hear that with this team, man. And then the coach ain't playing either. And the thing I like about Tibbs, man, got to give him his flowers too. Tibbs,
Yeah.
when he went to that 9-man rotation, and they got Cam up out of here. Ironically, the Knicks are undefeated since they traded Cam.
Yep.
When they made that move, Tibbs like bump it. Hey man, I'm on the hot seat. If I'm getting fired, I'm getting fired my way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We getting back to playing defense. If you don't play defense, you're going on the bench. Remember, RJ was playing bad. He was pulling RJ. RJ was sitting in the fourth quarters during crunch time, and Tibbs was like, "Hey, you don't play defense, you ain't getting on the court, man." And I appreciate that so much because people have always said that you can't bench these stars nowadays with the kind of money they're making. But Tibbs just proved otherwise. Because
100%.
we all know
Fournier
RJ
too.
just signed a big contract. Tell me what other coach would have benched RJ after RJ just signed that big contract extension. I'll wait.
You got the support of Leon. That's the thing. When
Yeah,
the when the president hires the coach, that's his guy.
yeah,
And I think he'd wait for the wheels to fall off before he finally fired Tibbs. And that,
yeah.
yeah,
It looked like it was going to be a package deal. Like if he goes, that's my man. I'm gonna have to go with him. But he's my coach.
yeah, and
It's a beautiful thing to see. And Leon, hey, I talk about that front office malpractice, man. I told people, I said, you ain't hearing that no more from me, man, because it's obvious now that they are on the same sheet of music, man. When he went and got Josh Hart, and a lot of people didn't know, man. I don't, or they probably just never said nothing about it. But that guy was banging the table when he was in Minnesota as a coach, was wanting them to hire your boy. They
yeah,
wanted him to hire Hart. He wanted them to draft Hart, and he almost got fired in Minnesota because of it. And now they reach back around and got Hart for the Knicks. That's Tibbs all day. That had every bit of Tibbs on it. You know. And so that lets me know that they're on the same sheet of
yeah.
music because you got the type of players that he wants.
When new school meets old school,
Yeah.
because Tibbs got that Rick Brunson, Pat Ewing DNA, but he's got a new crew
Mm-hmm.
with
This
Randle
this
Quickley.
this team looked like a '90s team. CT. It really has the '90s feel. The way they're playing, getting after it, it really does. It really does. A bunch of guys that's playing for one another. That it ain't about no egos or none of that. They genuinely
Yeah.
want to play well and want to see each other play well.
Plus, hard work is undefeated. Look how hard Jalen Brunson worked to get to where he's at.
He's
Four
another one.
years,
He's
four
another
years in
gym rat.
college or something.
He's another gym rat. And speaking of Hart, one thing I love about Hart, I told Soulfinger tonight, I was like, you notice every game that Hart plays, he punished the person that's setting the screen. He do it at least once a game, where he
Oh yeah,
he runs into the screen like he run into a brick wall and just blows it up. I said, you know what that does? I said, that's old school basketball, man. I said, the person that's setting that screen gonna think twice about setting another screen when they see Hart coming, because they know he's not afraid to blow it up.
he plays bigger than he is. I was asking people, Ron, is Hart a dude who could be the solution for the wing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because what he's done is he solidified that bench. You know what I mean? Even they talked about our pace. Like we jumped up to like 13th when it comes to oh my goodness, and fast break points.
Fast break point. Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
we're
We've
hard on the floor.
really picked things up.
Yeah, it looks it. He's a glue guy, man, and the Knicks. It was apparent that we didn't have that guy the minute he stepped on the floor. It was like, wow, we seeing something that these other guys ain't bringing. And in turn, his defensive intensity made other guys who were sleeping on defense wake up.
The
And we know who they
turnaround's
are.
just been insane.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. But
It's just
when Grimes get it right, CT, because
mm,
Grimes is starting to tee me off a little bit. But the only reason why I'm not going to get on him too bad, it ain't about how old he is. This is his first year starting.
Yep.
But even with that
100%.
being said, still no excuses. He has to knock down his shots, man. And I notice he's inconsistent. When his shot is falling, it's falling. But the thing I want Grimes to do more of is, he attacks the basket, but you can pretty much guess when he attacks the basket, he's looking to pass. I need him to go up and try to score. You know what I mean? Try to finish. And it's
What
just the
about
opposite when you see Hart. When Hart's going to the basket 9 times out of 10, he's looking to finish with
he's aggressive?
that Euro step.
Yeah, I liked his aggression tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you thought the defense was lapsing, he took it strong.
Yeah, the Knicks is a problem, man.
And what do you think about that DeJounte Murray talk? Would you rather, a stupid question, would you rather give up 3 picks for DeJounte Murray or sign Brunson for free?
That's a no-brainer.
We got clowned.
Yeah.
Why didn't we go after DeJounte? He wanted to go to Atlanta.
And Brunson wanted to come to New York. Kids close. Both teams got the guy they wanted. If the Knicks wanted DeJounte, they could have gotten him. So for anybody crying, it's obvious the Knicks didn't want it. You know what I mean? So and Brunson, this the key. Brunson has proven too in the playoffs. He's battle tested. And the guy, and this is the crazy thing, the guy that's crying the loudest in national media talking about Donovan Mitchell. Last time I checked, Brunson sent him home. Last year in the playoffs, Brunson sent him home. But this is the guy you crying about.
He's a stone cold killer, really, Brunson. He doesn't look scary, but let me tell you, his isolation play is like, he's one of the best isolation players in the league.
The silent assassin.
His footwork, I mean, my gosh.
It's better than a lot of the bigs.
It's better than a lot of dancers.
Yep. It's better than the Knicks and the dancers.
I tell you what, if RJ can get that kind of footwork,
RJ, I really do feel RJ just, if he, that game against Jimmy Butler, and I told Soulfinger this, I said, RJ needs to look at that blueprint, who he played against, which was Jimmy Butler. The reason why Miami stayed in that game against us is because Jimmy Butler was putting so much pressure on our front court. He kept attacking. Jimmy Butler don't shoot threes. He rarely shoots a 3. RJ can adopt that game, and he'll be fine. It's when RJ starts shooting them threes that I get a little uneasy, because he'll have games where he go 0 for 4. Don't make a 3, you know what I mean? Then he'll come back and have one where he go 4 or 5, 3 or 6. It's erratic. But the one thing that he's consistent at is going to the basket. And at that mid-range, you need to work on that mid-range this summer. Work on that mid-range game. Get that mid-range shot going. You know what I mean? That's going to open up things for you, too.
Yeah, so the three-point ball is improving.
And that's either if he's with the Knicks or not. And that's the next elevation in his game. He need a mid-range game. Consistent.
He's great with the corner 3.
Yeah, he loves that corner 3. Yep. The wing 3, is okay. That straight-on 3 is pretty much an air ball.
Yeah, let me ask you in the chat, right? We signed Daquan Jeffries, and we got a few roster spots if we need. Let's say we get close to the end of the season and we're like, okay, let's just go all in. Is there somebody you would want to add to this situation heading into a deep playoff run?
I'm gonna tell you one guy I would love on this team, even though we got 3 bigs already. I would love a Serge Ibaka on this team.
Serge?
I would like him.
What do you think about an enforcer like a Boogie Cousins?
Boogie would be tough. Boogie would be tough, and then I wonder about power forward like a Thaddeus Young. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's even available, but a type of player like him. And then Soulfinger always talk about Robert Covington is another good one if he's available.
Is Iguodala a free agent?
That's a good question.
You know,
That's a good question.
I'm not really talking about a dude to take no one's minutes. I'm just like, he'd be good for that locker room as well.
I
You
tell
know,
you,
and
I tell you who would be good. I'm gonna make some of the fan base mad because they don't want him back. I take Melo.
oh,
I take Melo.
Melo, yeah,
People, I don't know if they remember, but when Melo left the league after that Lakers stint, he was their best, one of their better players on the team. He was having a better season than most of those players on that team.
he was playing well. He was.
And Melo
Um,
wouldn't come to the Knicks thinking he the man. You know what I mean? And I got to give Melo credit too. Melo had a hand in Julius Randle's development too,
yep, he
because he,
has.
he that jab step, all that's Melo. He worked with Melo.
Yeah,
I hear you, Navy Blue 76, and nah, pass on Melo. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think he'd be
I can understand
expecting
why you would
minutes.
pass on him.
Yep,
But just somebody who could come in and get you a few buckets here.
Dennis Rodman.
If we could have Dennis right now, I'd take Dennis over Obi.
Oh, he would fit like a glove.
I'd take him over Obi right now because Obi really ain't giving me nothing in that backup role, man. We need a backup power forward to Julius, man.
A tougher rebounder, you think? I
Oh,
mean,
he
I'm
must be talking about Soulfinger talking about Iguodala.
I'm not sleeping on
Yeah,
Obi yet, Ron. There's a few games he might help us
I
in
sure hope so.
in the
Hey,
playoffs.
CT, I got more confidence jumping off the top of a building and surviving right now than depending on Obi offensively. And I hate to say
Yeah,
that because I like Obi and I like his game, but it just don't fit with this team. And that's crazy because think about it, CT. When the season ended last year, Obi was on a tear, and it looked like the Knicks were going to go with the youth movement all together. IQ had what, three triple doubles or something like that, two or three triple doubles. Obi had like three career point games. So it's looking like, okay, we going with the youngsters. But then the Knicks decided, hey, we changing direction. We gonna go get Brunson. And okay, so now we're not going with the youth. And then think about this. Even made me think too that we was going with the youth movement because remember the talk looked like Julius Randle was getting traded in the offseason.
yeah,
You
he
know what I mean? So
was.
it looked like, okay, Obi gonna get his time. But now that hey, Julius balling the way he's playing, Obi Obi is the odd man out by default because of
Sadly,
Julius playing so great. It's really no place for Obi. And the minutes that Obi get,
yeah.
he needs to show something with him. And tonight, I was unimpressed completely. He had one good shot and he drew a foul underneath the basket, which was huge to help us, win this game tonight. But as a whole, man, Obi is underwhelming me, and I think I said it back. I said RJ was my biggest disappointment of this season. I got to put Obi right there too. I got to put
Mm.
Obi right there. RJ is coming around. I give him his credit. He's coming around. I mean, the second half of this, well, not even second half. They call it second half, but you know what I mean? RJ is coming around. I got to give him his credit, but I'm waiting on Obi. And I'm afraid I'm going to be waiting and we just going to be
Well,
waiting, man. Like, and
that
that's the frustrating thing because that guy was the eighth overall pick, man.
the issue is like what you said. I agree. I think in the playoffs, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
He's gonna shorten this thing to 8-man rotation.
Yeah. Nine might be a stretch.
I don't think he's going to play Obi in the playoffs because
No,
if you think
no,
about it,
Obi.
Randall and RJ can cover you at the four, even Hart. He even
Hmm.
said, remember the first thing he said when we got Hart? He's like, he can play some four or some. I'm like,
He's definitely strong enough.
I think in a playoff series, you kind of want an 8-man rotation in a way because all these guys are playing so well that just have them all play 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to
Or
watch what Tibbs does, but I think
or Sims. Sims
anybody
could give
looking
you the
for
four
for a 10-man
minutes.
rotation in the playoffs, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
No.
I tell you what,
No.
I would rather see Sims back up Julius Randle than Obi.
Yeah.
And you know why?
He
Because
rebounds.
there you go. There you go.
And he can defend on the perimeter.
Exactly. Exactly. I wouldn't be
And he
surprised if
boxes
Sims.
out.
I won't be surprised if Sims leapfrog him in the playoffs.
Yep.
I would not be surprised.
Yep. He box out. You need that. Let's say it's 2 minutes left. You need that rebound off a free throw inbound. How are they going to box out Jericho and Mitch?
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Yep. And you can't play Julius 48. You'll be gassed.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's right. That's why I tell you my disappointment right now is Obi Toppin. Everybody else that took their game to another level. This team is playing better basketball. We're playing great basketball, but Obi is. How mad will you be? What do you say? How mad will you be if Obi's head is
Obi's still
still the
here
same?
after the
I,
summer.
I won't be mad this summer, but I won't be surprised if they trade him. I won't be surprised if they trade him at all. Because remember, his name was in the Levine trade talks. His name
Oh
was in
yeah.
there.
Yep.
He was about it here.
Yep. You know what we could do? We could still sign and extend him to help the other team. You know, let's say we need more salary.
Yeah.
We could up his salary and then trade that salary.
Do a sign. Yeah, be a part of a sign and trade.
Yeah, he's a great role player at the moment, but where we messed up is you needed to play him from 30 minutes from day one,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
rebuilding squad, like Charlotte.
yeah. That was the biggest disservice to his NBA career so far. But then there's something called situational awareness too, and what I feel like if I'm Obi Toppin, I go to the front office and have it in secret and say, hey, I love it here. This my home team. I grew up here. You
Mm.
know what I mean? But for the sake of my career, I would like for you guys to move me. No hard feelings.
Yep.
Julius doing what he's doing. But I look at myself as a starter in this league, not somebody who's just coming off the bench. And for his benefit, I think that's what he needs to do.
Unless he's willing to just go with the ride and try to win, maybe try to win a chip with his hometown, and
Yeah.
just be a mascot basically, like Theo Pinson,
So I'm gonna
and
ask you
then
this, CT. Tell me this, and this is what really is disheartening about Obi. I like him. I like his personality. I think he's a good kid. I got daughters. If they was to bring him home and say, "Hey, this is the guy to look at," hey, I'd be happy. But I'll say this: when I look at Obi, Obi seemed like he's happy being in the bench role, and I can't think of any former Naismith College Player of the Year drafted as an eighth overall pick that feels content coming off the bench. Am I wrong in saying that he looks like he's content coming off the bench?
yeah, he does. He's young. He just likes being in his home city. I think he likes Quickley. He likes the team that drafted him. But his agents are the ones that should be pushing to get him on another team. And I think Detroit was a team interested in him, right?
Yeah, that would have been a perfect spot for him.
Because they got rid of Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, because I'm
You
gonna
know,
tell you, when I look at Obi, there is something there. There is a skill set there. Unfortunately, that skill set is mired behind our star and Julius Randle, and it ain't no harm in that. You know what I mean?
yep.
There ain't no harm in that. Hey, there's going to be players better than you. It is what it is.
A small ball five lineups would have been great with him, with Cade.
hmm
You know,
Send him somewhere where he can develop and be where he
yep,
can get the time. And I think Detroit would be perfect. I wouldn't be surprised
yep.
if that goes down in the offseason.
Or the Rockets. I
Yeah,
get
one of those type
I,
teams.
I get Tari Eason back off the
hmm
Rockets. He can defend. He's lengthy. He's gritty.
Yep.
He had a career high last night. Um, Yeah, you're right. We got an identity now, Ron, and we got to have players fit the identity in a
Yeah,
way now.
and his defense. It's all about defense. It's all about defense.
Yep.
So Tib has gotten back to his identity, and there's no secret why the Knicks are winning.
Didn't we hold the Celtics to 94 points the last game?
And then even think about this game. And I was telling Soulfinger, I said, just let you know that like the defensive, how good these teams are defensively. Like, look how many points they scored, and it took them double overtime to score that many points. This team putting up 130 points in regulation, in regulation game.
Mm.
It took two overtimes to get 132 points in this modern era of basketball.
And a full squad.
Yeah,
They had a full squad tonight. We're missing our best player, our second best player. That lets you know how legit we are now.
I'm gonna tell you this. And I saw that comment by Stanley. Shout out to Stanley. And I was just sitting there when he said he put that comment up. I started thinking. I said, Obi is a player that if he got traded from the Knicks, when he come back to Madison Square Garden, they wouldn't boo him.
No, not at all.
They wouldn't boo him.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. He's a great talent, but he doesn't fit what Tibs likes, and that's what it is. It is what it is.
He hasn't had the minutes to flesh out a skill set. Pick and roll would have been excellent from him playing from day one.
Yep.
He was playing well with Quickley early on, but Quickley's role with the other unit has grown. I remember Derrick Rose used to look for Obi all the time.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose
Obi,
ain't playing.
Obi and Quickley. So it's gonna be interesting to watch how the rest of his career go. But for that young fella's sake, man, and if he want another contract, if somebody will pick him up. I mean, he'll have a place in this league. But if he trying to get that
Mm.
bag, he gonna have to ask to be moved in the summertime. And it ain't no
Yeah.
harm in that. You know what I mean?
He, yeah.
Everything is about timing, man. If Julius Randle wasn't on the team, then Obi would have been just fine. but the way Julius played, man, it's just no place for him.
He's not even taken a night off for Obi to get, like, let's say one game where Obi can be in the starting unit for one game.
Exactly.
He doesn't take one night off.
Yeah. But tonight I was disappointed in Obi's play because I was like, Julius sat a long time tonight. He sat a long time. And Obi was on that floor, and Obi, I didn't feel no impact from him, man. I'm like, come on, dude. There's been plenty of games I've watched him this year. I mean, even going up against lesser guys, talent-wise, and you know what I mean? And I'm watching him, and he's not taking over like he should. And think about it. I remember I was saying this like well earlier in the season. I said, we've been waiting on somebody to take a stranglehold of that second unit. And Obi ain't taking it over. You know, you knew Quickly was going to do his thing in that second lineup. You know what I mean? But Obi just didn't take a stranglehold on it.
You're waiting for that dog to come out, like you said. He's happy. He's happy all the time. I like the shooting dynamic.
Yeah, he can
He's
shoot the
definitely
three when he
he's a
got it going.
modernized four. He's a
Yeah.
modern four.
Hmm.
He'd fit with Houston, I
Oh yeah,
think.
he'll fit in those teams like that. But just with Tibbs, it's not a great fit.
No, you're right. We need like a defensive kind of guy who could shoot, but rebound.
Yeah,
Um,
Julius needs somebody behind him that we
yeah,
can count on. That when we put Julius Randle on that bench, you might not get the same production, but you're going to get some kind of production offensively.
yep.
And think about it,
PJ.
when Julius is on that bench, CT, do you ever say to yourself, okay, well, we know we're going to get about 12 to 15 points from Obi?
No, but I know his roles decline more and more and more. And like I said, it's going to be eight. It's going to be 8 man. You watch in the playoffs. Maybe Sims is that guy that might be the ninth man. Um, Deuce McBride. I think Tibbs would be willing to throw Deuce out there in a moment.
Yeah, because the thing is if you can't put up points, you better be able to affect the game
Stop.
defensively,
Yep.
or dive on the floor for loose balls or get rebounds. You got to be able to do other things if you can't score.
Yeah. What does every player have?
Every player got the same opportunity to get on that floor and go get some rebounds,
They got
play some
six.
defense.
6 fouls.
Yeah, you got 6. You got a chance to play defense, man.
Yep.
So I think I would not be surprised if Sims leapfrogged him. And the reason why I was thinking about Obi because we're gonna need everybody help in the playoffs, man. We know this thing is gonna get the intensity is gonna ratchet up. Even we saw it tonight. We saw it in Miami. You know what I mean? Teams are gonna start playing real hard, man. You're gonna start get the playoff feeling. That's what we're getting right now. And we need people to step
Yep.
up, man.
Yeah. Great segue. So what's going to happen when people trap Brunson? We saw it against the Heat. They try to get the ball out of his hands, and then are you confident in the way we execute with Julius stumbling and bumbling?
Well, that's the thing. With it just depends on who you want to pick your poison or who you want to double. Do you want to try to double Julius and leave JB open, or do you want to double JB and leave Julius open? Hey, have at it. I feel bad for you if you do that. Now, what Tibbs can do to combat that, and you see him do it a lot, is he'll put Quickly in the game with JB sometime, so that way JB can play off of Quickly and played it like more of a shooting guard role.
Yeah.
So there's ways to combat that. It is really the Knicks, and I predicted this, and I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be hard for any team to double us. Period. They're gonna have to. It's gonna become a point where they're gonna play us straight up. Because if RJ keeps doing what he's doing, as of late, the last 4 games, 4 or 5 games,
Mm.
they're gonna have to play us straight up. You cannot afford to double anybody.
Or with Quickley and Hart out on the floor,
Yeah, you can't
they
double
yeah they
because
could
those guys will
separate.
punish you. They'll make you pay.
Hmm. Mitch, you got to find Mitch under the bucket too. If a dude if they double, there's a dude open.
Yeah,
It,
find him.
most of the time they ignore Mitch. You know,
And that's why I do love that about RJ. RJ is the one person who looks for him coming off that curl to throw that lob.
mm. I just feel like he's going to be a difference maker in the playoffs. Mitch,
Oh yeah, because
the
we
way,
didn't. And for one, we didn't have him the last time we was in the playoffs. So the team looks totally different with Mitch in there.
oh,
We all know that it looks totally different. Even with Sims, and I like Sims, but down in that paint, teams are not afraid to come attack Sims. They
second
think
chance
twice when
points.
Mitch is down there.
Yeah, it's critical. 7 offensive rebounds tonight.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
He's giving you second. He's literally giving you more possessions to get more shots in.
Exactly. A potential of
Yeah.
21 points if you make all threes off them 7 rebounds. That's a person's stat line for the night. 21 points. Mitch
the
can
only
give you
thing,
the potential of getting that.
the only thing I want to see more of is you remember Mitch early in his career when he was slimmer. He could stick you on the perimeter as well.
Yeah, his lateral quickment with lateral movement
Yeah.
to guard bigs, wings and stuff. He was out there guarding the
He
point
was
guards and stuff.
he was blocking KD's threes. Remember?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he got heavier. Obviously, he got stronger. Now
Yeah,
he's
because
a
I think Mitch said he's about 260, 270 now.
yeah. He's a load down there, man. Even Robert Williams, Grant Williams,
Those guys
Bam.
can't handle him.
Yep.
The only center in the East that gives him trouble is Joel Embiid.
Embiid. Yep.
That's it.
Embiid or Giannis is quick, too
Yeah.
quick. But it's just it's those two. That's it. Um,
And what's the other
yeah,
guy? Valanciunas. I think it's Valanciunas. That's with the Raptors.
yeah,
Those
JV.
are the only 2 guys that really give Mitch a problem. And even with that being said, they have a hard time with Mitch too. Try to keep him off the glass.
Oh man, national games coming thick and fast. What do you think? 50 burger now? All we have to do is go 11-5,
And that's very
and we
doable.
and we
That
get the
that that's
50
not that's
burger.
not that's not far fetched. I mean, that's very doable. I think they're gonna get 50 wins. At the least, they're gonna get 45. They only need
Oh,
6 more wins for 45.
I'll put my house on 45. You know, we could get Dwayne Washington filling in for Brunson for a few games.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm kind of concerned about Brunson, man. I
Yeah.
I knew he messed the ankle up, but when I heard foot soreness,
Oh,
that's a red flag. That's a red flag for me, and I hope it's just soreness, and I hope it ain't nothing else, because that
what
would be
what
a blow. That would be a devastating blow.
what did they say? Like where
They're
did
just
you
saying
hear the
foot. They're just saying
soreness?
foot soreness,
Okay.
and you don't normally hear that with no point guards.
Yeah. He's
That's
heavy.
that's a big man injury, and normally when you hear foot soreness with a big man, is normally the
Yep.
plantar fasciitis, or
Fasciitis.
unfortunately the hairline fractures and stuff. So I mean, I'm watching that dynamic. Matter of fact, they don't even need to play him when they play Charlotte, because
Nah.
and Lamelo's out with a broken ankle, I think, ain't it?
Yep.
They
They're
don't need to
tanking.
play him in that game. Let
I said to
Brunson
you,
rest
Ron,
again.
these
You
last
don't need to
15,
play.
20 games, teams are going to play G Leaguers. They're going to play all the young guys.
Yeah,
They don't they don't want to mess up the tank.
yeah. The
Tom
tank
Thibodeau will
immensely.
have Tom Thibodeau will have Julius Randle out there in the 47th minute.
Hmm.
Running the ball up the floor when in a blowout.
You know what's crazy? Like, if you turned on that Knicks game tonight, and this was your first time watching the Knicks, and you saw Quickly playing, you would think that Quickly was always the point guard for the Knicks all season. You
Some
would
of the
think
things
that
he,
that was a backup playing tonight.
I'm not trying to sound crazy, but some of the things he was doing was better than Brunson tonight.
You know, the
He had
definitely the
extra
definitely the
size.
rebounder, definitely the rebounder.
Yeah, the
So,
floater game, getting in the paint, hezzy move. Um,
but you know what though? I'll say this: he has copied a lot from He has borrowed a lot from Brunson too. He
yes,
you can tell like now like he'll do the little mid range
little
jump shot.
skip around.
He wasn't doing no mid range jump shot. It was mid range floater. Quickly to shoot that floater from 12 feet.
with the, with the defense is better, like
Oh
Deke would
yeah,
have said.
and
You
absolutely
get
the defense is no even comparison between him and Brunson defensively.
yeah, exactly.
But
And
man, I,
also,
I just I just want Tibbs to put Brunson on ice for a few games, man. Let him rest up
yeah,
quickly tonight. If anything quickly did tonight is show Tibbs, hey, you can go ahead and rest Brunson. Because if we can beat Boston without Brunson, we can pass by beat Charlotte without him.
yeah, any injuries that linger, it's the ankle usually.
Yeah,
Anyone that's had
ankle
an ankle
ankle. If it's a
injury,
high ankle sprain, that can linger a long time, and that affect you cutting and everything. But that foot,
mm.
the only thing help a sore foot is rest. You
Did you
got to
see
rest,
Quickly
man.
dancing?
Oh man,
I was,
quickly look like, and I said this on Knicks Fan TV the other night. I said the one thing that impressed me with Quickly is his conditioning, defensively
oh, he's felt.
and offensively. It's like this guy's conditioning is off the charts because he puts the same kind of energy into his defense as he does as in his offense, and that's rare. And that's why those two way guys get paid the way they get paid. And Quickly is definitely a two-way player, and he's exceeded my expectations, and I got to give him a shout out because I'm gonna tell you at one point I wanted to put him on the first thing smoking. He was getting on my nerves. But looking at the way Quickly is playing, man, ain't no
He woke
way I'm
up.
moving. I would not move him. Sometimes the move you don't make end up being
Yeah,
your best move. And two of them end up being their best move is not trading Julius Randle in the offseason or moving Quickly.
he woke up. Also, what do you think about maybe Derek Rose has had a hand?
You know what? I would even use Derrick Rose instead of having to rush Brunson back up. Because I forgot about Derrick Rose even being on this team.
Say that again.
I forgot about Derrick Rose being on this team.
Fournier. I forgot those guys were here.
Yep. Fournier is
You
a
know.
shooter you can use. And see, And Tibbs might be saving them guys for the playoffs. His secret weapon.
That's a good take.
Sprinkle them in for a few minutes.
That's a good take. Even Sherwin's on, given IQ props.
Yeah, and one thing I saw that he did tonight that impressed me too, and it's called awareness, man. Everybody saw how Al Horford was just, oh man, he was laying them threes. It seemed like every time they threw the ball at him, he was popping a three. And I was like, hot dog, how many times y'all gonna leave this man open? And it was one play late in the game where Quickley came off his man a little bit and shaded the area and stopped
Yeah,
Al from shooting the three, and he had to pass it. And I think he passed it to Tatum. But I was like,
and Hart.
that's what I'm talking about, Quickley. That's right. Get over there and stop
Yep.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
the
it's
switching.
it's going to be an interesting thing. It's going to be 10 in a row against Charlotte, and this thing gonna keep rolling, man. We gonna keep rolling. Hey, CT, man. Hey, I enjoyed being here tonight, man. And we gonna talk again, man. Enjoy this ride. And let me hear you say it one time. What's going on, man? What's going on, CT?
The streets are buzzing.
That's right.
Yep.
We gonna fly into the playoffs, baby.
Yep.
Good
I'll meet
night,
you
CT.
there.
Salute to the chat.
Salute, Ron. Appreciate you as always. Got the streets buzzing out here. Man, man, man. What a night. We'll continue to rock out for a bit more. Yeah, for those late nighters out here. I appreciate everyone in the chat right now buzzing, feeling the energy. And Ron Cleveland, the one, the only. Appreciate you, Ron. And yeah, made a lot of great points about this totals. I honestly feel like 50 is a real possibility now, because I've been saying for a while that this league is really going to try to tank. The Spurs already mastered the tank. Where they lost like 16 in a row. They know what's at stake with the draft coming up. Houston, Charlotte coming up. A lot of these teams, Indiana, they're definitely going to start to realize, look, we're a couple losses away from getting into that lottery. Let's do it. But on the other hand, it looks like Washington is a team that might be pushing for the play-in. And if they get into the 8th spot, if they win the 2 playoff games, the Knicks get another draft pick this year, which is something to watch. The Dallas selection is big, but if we end up getting another one, I don't see this organization making picks, let alone 2 picks. So that could mean a big trade, ladies and gentlemen. Big trade could be on the horizon, especially if we make the second round, the ECF. This front office is going to have more of a temptation to make that next swing, because it's gonna have to be the right move. It's gonna have to fit. But to add to Brunson and Randle and Barrett and whoever else, if Barrett's still here, it's gonna have to complement the rest of the team in terms of the right piece, the right position, the right skill set, all of that stuff. I won't be shocked if Obi still is here. To the person who asked before, the great question earlier, would I be upset if Obi was still here? I wouldn't be upset. That's why I raised that point with Ron, because he's happy in New York. He might be okay with his role. He's young. He's on a winning team. For some players, that's what it's about, winning. Maybe they're worried about getting paid later. Maybe they're in a cool situation with family in New York. The streets are buzzing. The team's winning. Maybe Obi might not be forced in a trade out of this situation. Let's see. All indications look like later in the future he's probably gonna have to go somewhere else if Julius is here. But at some point, I think maybe in the short term Obi's okay to stay in here. But it's wins like tonight, double OT, where it's gritty and you got to buckle down and play. It's just tough. You got to get stops. Execution was not pretty tonight, but we had the soldiers to pull this one out. I'm so proud because Boston threw all their haymakers at us. The refs were in it on it as well. You know, Marcus Smart was trying all these dirty tactics, doing everything he could to try to throw a glitch in the matrix, you know, flopping, falling down, all of that stuff. I was also shocked that Tibs didn't challenge that call. It does look like it went off, you know, Smart's finger, but the New York Knicks didn't challenge. They played that straight up, and they got a stop. That was key. That was probably the most critical play in the game for the New York Knicks to have a reasonable case to challenge, and then they decided to just play D. You know, let's not get cold. Let's just continue to play. And they got a key stop, which was amazing. And they got out, and then scored. Obviously, free throws, something we got to clean up. If the Knicks had hit a few more free throws, we could have iced this game as well. So that's going to be something to watch in the playoffs, you know, as these games become, you know, within inches, you know, of winning and losing. It's heartbreak or euphoria with this situation. We were on the right side tonight, 9 straight. Matched the, I think, the record from 2 years ago, right? We got 9 straight 2 years ago, and we got this team coming up with that situation. We got the Charlotte Hornets coming up, and then the Sacramento Kings, and then the LA Clippers. So, man, I put my house on 48 wins at this point. Like I said to Ron, we only need 11-5 from here on out. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. 5 losses could come at any time. But with Brunson out and the way we're playing like tonight, everybody chipped in. You know, everybody did their thing and helped out tonight. Obviously, yeah, there was only a couple players in the minus, but they were McBride, who didn't play a lot, and Josh Hart played 40 minutes, was -2 each. And Mitch Robinson was -1. And Randle was -8. But Quickley was +8, Grimes +2, Hartenstein +11, and Obi was +10 in his minutes. But obviously that was a key swing in the game. But Emmanuel Quickley gets an A+++ tonight. You know, I didn't think he would be able to last for that long and carry us to a victory like this. But RJ Barrett's 10 of 22 was key as well. Hit three deep shots, 6 of 9 from the line. Was okay. Could have hit a few more free throws. But 29 points. Julius Randle's 31 points now. He goes to 20 30-point games on the season. Does Julius, honing in on Patrick Ewing's 36 franchise record. He's not going to catch that, but he's going to get close at the moment. To have 20 30-point games is crazy. That's basically we're not even at the end of the season, and it's a quarter of the games he's scored 30 points. He's having an all-NBA type season, is Julius Randle. He's second of his career. I really think Julius Randle makes at least third team all-NBA at this point. Yeah, just give it to him. He deserves that right now. And some other Knicks deserve, you know, praise as well. I think Quickley's really going to, you know, like Drew Salute gave us the tweet tonight, Quickley is the leader of the clubhouse in the Vegas betting for 6th Man of the Year candidate now. Just an absolute year he's having, a talent, and the way he's grown, his confidence, the defense, the two-way play. Look at that play, man. Charging straight into the defender, getting the foul call. Full of confidence, man. Just using and abusing Muscala. And with that situation, identifying the mismatch. He's so confident. Yeah, with that. And yeah, about Ron's point about Brunson, I feel like Brunson's going to be, you know, probably take maybe one more game off because it's Charlotte. But I don't think the injury looks too serious. I really don't. You know, if he would benefit from extra rest, then I'm all for that, I guess. But it doesn't look too serious. So, you know, you still want to be fine-tuned for the playoffs. You know, you want to be in shape and you want to be ready. because, we still have a lot to fight for. We still have a lot to play for. Third seed, fourth seed. You want home court. As much as we're buzzing right now, let's think about it further. We don't want to go into Cleveland in the fifth seed, I don't think, and give Cleveland home court. The way we're playing right now, it's ours for the taking. I want the New York Knicks to finish with home court, fourth seed again, and let's continue that momentum and close that first series out. Let's sweep them. Game 1, game 2 at MSG, let's start out hot and just snatch their heart out. But we got to get the fourth seed first. Third would be gravy. To finish third would mean we'd probably play the Heat, maybe the Heat in sixth. Maybe Atlanta might be able to finish sixth. Maybe Brooklyn can hold on to sixth. Who knows? But it's definitely a favorable matchup. If we finish third, whoever finishes sixth, that's favorable as well. But I like our chances against Cleveland, definitely. Yeah, the story about tonight is IQ. D. Gon says IQ just made himself another 15, 20 mil tonight. Yep, it's been building up for that. And I think tonight was a big stage. He took the chance, with Brunson out, and I think he's been ready for that minute. I've been calling Quickley our sixth starter for a long time now because he's shown that he's capable. He's been playing 30 plus minutes a lot lately. And I think he's been in that mindset where he's ready to start if he needs to any time. And tonight he was not shook. He was dominating, it's fair to say. He was dominating the Celtics, literally. The haters on the announcement was giving him props, basically. But another huge story is 9-0 since Josh Hart is a New York Knick. Talk about made to be a New York Knick. I'm running out of words to describe this acquisition. Now, it's just been insane. 12 games over 500, now 39-27. Winning 9 in a row is going to do that, I think the All-Star break came at a great time. We made the trade right before the break. It was the right trade, the right piece, the right fit. And it's helped this team tremendously. And I do think that Josh Hart is that Swiss Army knife he could hit a deep shot. And let's not forget about that big shot he hit tonight. That Josh Hart did hit a really big three. It was a big critical time of the game to keep us in it. And he's going to get those open looks. They double Randle, they double Brunson. He's going to get those looks. And he hit it tonight. What did Hart finish with? He finished with, he was 3 of 5 from the field and 1 of 2 from deep. Beautiful, couple threes per game, shoot 50%, 40%. Gave us 10 points, gave us 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers, and used up 5 fouls. Right, he's built for the playoffs. He takes charges just like Brunson does as well. That, typical Tibs guy. You can impact winning, you can impact the game without needing the ball. He's just all over the place, in your face like Mace. And he's got floor burn. He was all over the place. He's going to be a pest in the playoffs for any team. And he's basically our Marcus Smart. Yep. Yeah, D says 3 or 4 spot would be awesome as long as we go into the playoffs healthy and with home court. Yep, we could definitely save some energy for that second round. That's what's key, I think. If you look at generally what's common in a deep playoff run, that first round, if you can win that first round in 4 or 5, and save a lot of energy, let's close them out, man. Shut them down, sweep them. That'd be crazy if the Knicks swept Cleveland or shut them out in 5. That'd be big, but you need home court, so that's key as well. Yeah, David, we're deep. Yep, exactly, right? it's kind of bittersweet for me that Tibs might go 8-man because in the regular season we got more cats that can play. We have players that could play. We could play 11 deep if we really wanted. We could go deeper than that. Derrick Rose, Fournier, garbage time, all of that stuff. I think that could also, though, be what drives a lot of these players, because in the locker room, they sit down, they know there's guys next to them who could play, It just adds more pressure for those guys to want to play harder, I think. Nobody wants their spot taken. Obviously, we're not going to go 11 deep, like Sherwin says, I feel. But in the playoffs, I don't feel like it's going to happen. Yep. Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to happen, Sherwin. I said that to Ron. We will go 8 deep, most likely, in the playoffs. Maybe not in the first round, but as we get deeper, definitely. I think Tibs is going to cut this rotation out. Or maybe he might try to duck some controversy. He might, play Obi like 5-6 minutes. That's it. He might stick to 9, but just to keep the locker room vibes good, he might keep Obi at 5 to 6 to 7 minutes, at the back end of each half or something. Back and start. Yep. Loop's in the house with the super chat. Let's go, Loop. Appreciate you. And the chat buzzing. Loop says, have a drink on me CT tonight. I want Sims to play if the other 2 bigs are in foul trouble. No small ball. Yep, absolutely buzzing. Yeah, appreciate you, Loop. Nick's Streets, Nick's Nation. Cheers. And I 100% agree with you. Yep. As we talked about with Ron, I think Sims is that kind of guy that Tibs could trust in a playoff game because he's traditional. He's a traditional big. He rebounds, he boxes out, he sets great screens, and he can also stick on the perimeter as well. So he could be a nice weapon that you said, Luke, in a playoff matchup. In the playoffs, we know what keeps you on the floor, fam. You need to be able to defend. If you're not getting the ball and you're not scoring, what else can you do? Yep. I would like Sims to play as well. Even if Hartenstein's you're having a bad game or in foul trouble, 100%. I don't think we need to add another big man. I know Ron said he wouldn't mind Serge Ibaka. I asked Ron that question because I feel like in the playoffs, even if we're not going to play a dude, I don't know if we're going to go into the playoffs with Daquan Jeffries and Dwayne Washington and these kind of guys. Although Dwayne Washington is a two-way player, so whoever's on the 10-day at the moment, I don't know if we're going to take those dudes into the playoffs. We might sign a buyout guy just to be that extra enforcer in the locker room on the bench. Maybe the story's not closed on Carmelo Anthony yet. Who knows? In a playoff run, that would be crazy actually if Melo was on this team. In a deep playoff run. Sherwin says Hart can play the backup 4 and cut Obi out. You could play a bit of both. That's true. Randle at the 5. Sims can play that 5 as well. Mitch may be in foul trouble, who knows, as well. One thing's for sure, I feel great about our depth. We really have, eased these guys in throughout this regular season. I think if I'm to grade this regular season, it really has been a B plus A in terms of many different things. We haven't really faced, a season-ending injury or anything crazy. We haven't had any controversy or any dysfunction. We're 12 games over 500. Yes, we've had a few injuries, but nothing crazy. Aside from maybe that awful loss to Dallas and Tibs maybe getting fired, we haven't really had a bad regular season at all. And we have let some guys play. There was periods where Cam was getting minutes. Periods of the season, Fournier was getting minutes. Deuce McBride got his shine. There was a period where Obi was playing more minutes as well. So I don't think any player can really complain. I don't think any player really has a gripe. Dwight Howard he might finish up in Taiwan sooner than the playoffs. He might become available as a buyout guy because he'll be eligible because he has not played on a team yet. I don't think. I think Will Barton has been signed. I think Dirty said Stanley Johnson as a insurance at the wing. That would be a name I would look at. Maybe I would look at maybe a sniper. If there's a sniper 3-point guy. I know we gave up Svi Mikhailuk. Maybe if there's somebody out there who's a great 3-point shooter in a situational spot, I think that's an area of this roster where we don't have a 3-point specialist. In the playoffs, you might need that. You might need to go 5 out. You're down 3 with 2 seconds left. You want some 3-point shooters on the floor. Aside from that, maybe another wing, another big who could defend on the perimeter, maybe a guy who could switch. But aside from that, I don't see anyone getting any minutes anyway. Rashad, what's good? Quickley was drafted by the Knicks and should be paid by the Knicks. RJ Barrett could be traded to Toronto. Yeah, I think we're really going to find out how invested in RJ this front office is in this summer. He's going to be the most tempting player that they trade to make an upgrade. But there's still heaps of ball to be played yet, and I think RJ Barrett's future's not written yet in New York. He plays more like he does tonight, and I feel like he has a big summer. I feel like this front office can definitely keep him around still. But I think Obi's that guy they'll be looking to trade. Derrick Rose and Fournier's cash is going to come off the books. So that's another big situation. But most likely that money is going to go to Quick and it's going to go to Hart. I think that money that comes off is going to go to re-signing those guys because they should be the number 1, number 2 priority this off-season. Keeping Josh Hart is a priority this offseason, and then number 1 is re-signing Quickley or to an extension with that situation. But let's see. Yep, they're both dogs. That's what's great about them. Two-way players, like they keep saying in the interviews. We keep seeing it. Hustle players, man. They're going to be the guys on the floor when Tom Thibodeau is in a playoff situation with Brunson and with Randle and with Mitch. Now, Barrett's still got a very good chance of being on the floor, but I think it's going to be situational. It's going to be how he's playing, the matchups, all of that stuff. But I think if I'm just trying to think about what Tibs would want right now, I think he would prefer Hart and Quickley. They both rebound excellently. They both defend the perimeter great. They can dribble, they can play make. It adds so much to our offense as well, especially in a playoff situation where they're going to double Randle, they're going to trap Brunson. The more ball handlers on the court, the better the Knicks will be, because we won't be going stale. We won't be going into a funk. I think with 4 ball handlers on the floor at the same time, with Brunson, Quickley, Hart, and Randle. It gives the Knicks a lot of looks, as well as we have Emmanuel Quickley now leading in the odds to win 6th Man of the Year. Man, it's been crazy. The season he's been having. The Knicks streak is buzzing. 9 straight, 12 over 500, putting big statement wins over our arch rivals, the Celtics, the Heat. It's just been crazy this season. Man, the streets are well and truly buzzing, the chat buzzing, smashing that like button, because the New York Knicks have arrived. Sustained success looks like it's here. Playoff runs, we hear. 90s Knicks stand up, 80s Knicks stand up, 70s Knicks stand up, 60s Knicks stand up, 2000s Knicks stand up. However long you've been a fan, man, this is good times ahead, and we won't take a night off on this situation, because the streets are buzzing right now. Smashing that like button, because yeah, this team's got an identity. It's playing gritty, it's playing tough, sharing the rock now, and we can clean some things up still. Prayers up for Jalen and Brunson. Let's hope that ankle is just healing up. And we're rolling right now. This is what rolling looks like. Hottest team in the league. Media haters coming out of the woodwork. No more Knicks for clicks. Brooklyn's in the past. This is like heaven at the moment. The only thing that waits is that championship at the end of the tunnel, and a deep playoff run. Let's get that 4th seed. Let's go all the way. And I get home court. MSG will be rocking. And I will be there, fam. With peace, blessings to everyone out here. And let's get it on the next one. Let's beat down Charlotte and get this thing to 10 straight. Feeling great. No hate. Salute, salute, salute.